hit the part where we are about to flipping talk about some breaking news, because a bomb's just gone off at Kabul airport. They've been saying that a terror attack is imminent. Thank you, Emperor Penguin, aka Dodgy Penguin, in the chat. Emperor, because they're a boss. Right, okay, so we're going to read this little report right here, or whatever, however big it is, I'm not sure. We're going to read this report right now. This is about the attack. Jeez, man, RIP to anybody that might be lost in this, man, because it sounds like a suicide attack anyway. Right, okay, UK Ministry of Defence statement on explosion near Barron Hotel. We are working urgently to establish what has happened and its impact on the ongoing evacuation event, 1 out of 2. Our primary concern remains the safety of our personnel, British citizens and citizens of Afghanistan. We are in close contact with our US and other NATO allies at an operational level on the immediate response to this incident. Okay. So, okay. The explosion outside Kabul airport appeared to be caused by a suicide bomb. An unnamed US official told Reuters on Thursday, citing initial report and cautioning that it could change. There have been reports on Twitter, which The Guardian has not confirmed, from the US journalist Jennifer Griffin of Fox News and the Afghan journalist Bilal Sawari, suggests it was a suicide attack. New suicide bomber complex SBIED attack. With firefighter Abbey Gate outside Kabul airport. Afghan casualties, US officials. Sewage canal where Afghans were vetted after their documents was packed with Afghans, including women and children. A suicide bomber blew himself up in the middle of a large crowd. Started shooting. Multiple eyewitnesses, man. Oh my fucking god. One of the entry gates to Kabul airport has been hit by a large explosion hours after Western intelligence agencies warned of an imminent terrorist threat. Peter Beaumont and Aubrey Allegretti report. Sorry if I butchered those. The blast, which was confirmed by the Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby on Twitter, this is the world we live in, appears to have occurred at the Abbey Gate into the international airport and was followed by gunfire. Damn, this is 11 minutes ago, everybody, by the way, as well. Great report, this. Thank you, Emperor. It came as several Western casualties announced the end of their evacuation flight, citing an acute threat of an attack, possibly within hours. So is this going to be what is going on in Afghanistan now, do you reckon? Taliban gave Canada 48 hours to leave. I guess the time is up. Thank you, Spam. That's the one right there. Oh no, so frustrating. Why? Very recent. Yes, appears to be a suicide attack. That is correct. That is what it appears to be. Indeed. Geez, right, let's continue on with this then. The warning has been delivered by several countries, including the Afghans gathering, including the UK. Afghans gathering to try to gain access to Kabul's Hamid Karazi International Airport were told to leave immediately and move to a safe place, even as the evacuation appeared to be rapidly coming to an end. Like, it does not feel like this shit should be coming to an end at all. But okay, we can confirm an explosion. We can confirm an explosion outside Kabul airport. Casualties are unclear at this time. We'll provide additional details when we can. Okay, so let's read these two new reports. Sky News' Stuart Ramsey, who was reporting from Kabul airport until this morning, said he had been told that the explosion took place in the canal running alongside the main road approaching the airport, when crowds of people had been queuing to get processed for evacuation. Oh, man, although now, fucking hell, that is so bad. Like, Jesus, Lord have mercy on these people, man. Jeez. That is like, It's like incredibly bad, that. Very good morning to you, Racco. Welcome to the stream, my friend. It's great to see you. You have just landed in the middle of a breaking news story, my friend. I am sorry to be the person that is breaking this, but I am honestly really glad that we're all together whilst doing this, because this is fucking horrible news. Like, I'm not gonna lie. This, like, is exactly what I am certain most people have been scared of. Shit, sorry, I forgot to put that on big screen. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, this is just unbelievable. Like, it's straight up unbelievable. Oh, piss off. Did not want to do that. Oh, man. Is that okay? Can you all see that? Right, okay, so we're going to continue on. Let me just take a moment to breathe. Can everybody see that? It's a bit small, isn't it? It's a wee bit small. Well, I'll read it out. I'll highlight it as I read. New messages at the top, yeah. It won't be the norm. They just wanna fuck with people leaving. Right. I hope that's the case. Because and even still, like, how does this not constitute like some kind of military aggression back? I don't understand. Like, wait until one American or one UK or one Canadian or one Italian or one anybody else dies in this, I think. Unless they already have, which would be very surprising and very, very fucking upsetting, that we'd be literally letting people, like, even in the forces, like, I know letting civilians die is fucked up in itself, but then just taking that same approach to even the people that are going over there to try and help those civilians is so fucked up. Some Americans injured, possibly. Again, it wouldn't surprise me, like, and it could be the case that there's already people that have, you know, passed, and again, it'd be very sad. I like to think that you know, that should spark some kind of, like, I don't know what the innocent Afghan people dying like this, I don't know what more could be done to spark outrage, but maybe that's summer, and I'd hate for that to be the case, you know. Wouldn't it be such a fucking tragedy to have to lose even just anybody at all, like, to this shit now? Like, it's so bad. Right, let me continue on. We'll keep an eye on this, though. A minicab driver, this is 2 minutes ago now, from Amelia Gentleman. A minicab driver from South London had been waiting at the gate all day and all night, trying without success to show his British passport to the guards at the gate of the Baron Hotel. But he decided to leave about 3 p.m. when he received warnings via WhatsApp that there was threat of a terror attack. Shit, sorry, I should have highlighted that. I was there with my wife and children and decided to come home. There were thousands of people by the Baron Gate. Some of them were leaving, but most of them stayed. There were other British passport holders in the queue, and people had worked for NATO, and people who had worked for NATO or for British forces sitting on the roadside, helpless like me. Wow. Right, although now reporting from Doha, he said his contacts told him that it was a suicide bomber who had detonated the device in the canal, yet with reports of potential injuries among American forces. Okay, so it's there already. This could be the thing. This actually very well could be the thing, you know, that flipping sparks more military intervention. Which, you know, great. I guess maybe something will happen where it'll stop, but wow, why did it even have to come to this? It was such a bad idea to even leave them with their own devices. Anyway, they're getting Taliban are getting recognised by people now around the world. Innit, all those innocent people trying to leave, you know, that is my beef right here, man. All those innocent people that are just trying to leave because they don't want to be in a place where it's ruled by the Taliban. Like, you know, anybody that's like gone going round calling any person that wears a hijab like part of like this Sharia law flipping conspiracy bullshit, and that they want to dominate the Western world. Like, it is not true. Look how many people want to get out, and they are standing in line with the kids, with the families there. Literally women are there for fucking days and shit. Sometimes I've heard, and with the kids, and all this kind of stuff is a massive risk whilst they're just even there waiting. So, like, the desperation of these people at the moment is immeasurable, man. Like, and how are these world leaders, like, sitting by whilst that gets kind of happening? I mean, it's messed up, man. An unnamed official, going on to the next report, an unnamed official has told Reuters that US service members are among those injured in the blast. Damn, according to the initial information. Potentially 2 or 3 among the injured. As we've just reported, the UK's Defence Ministry said it was working urgently to establish what had happened at Kabul Airport, following reports of an explosion, but has not said anything as of yet. Right, okay, we've got 2 new updates. We've got 2 new updates, everybody. Oh my god, these are coming in thick and fast. Whoa, let's get this in Google Translate. Detecting into English. Why are you doing that for? I do not want to go to Twitter. Stop sending me to Twitter. To all our Afghan friends, if you are near the airport gates, move away urgently and take cover. A second explosion is possible. Fuck, a second explosion, man. Jesus Christ. Wow, that's well bad. Wow. 2 explosions in the Baron Hotel area. Wow, 2 explosions? No way, so there is. Reporting there were 2 explosions. There were 2 explosions. Wow, no way. No damage to Turkish units. Fucking hell. Jeez, man. Damn. It won't happen. It will happen if there is a serious terror attack in America and they can trace it back to Afghanistan. Then they could possibly do military intervention again. Yeah, indeed. I mean, it was a bad idea to start this war. It was never going to be an option to stay there forever. Absolutely, I agree. It was never an option to stay there forever. And like, I think like many people now are asking the question, like, what were we doing there? What actually did we accomplish whilst being there? What was the whole point of it? Because like, like for me, I haven't particularly lost my son or my daughter to the war, but I am sure that those people are asking some very serious questions, or of course anybody that's any close relation to the war, outside of just the the moral sort of ties to it all. Like, I wonder how those kind of people are feeling right now. I mean, how disenchanted somebody must feel if they've been in army for the last 15 years. They've seen friends die, they've lost bloody this, they've lost that, and they've been in this war for however many years. Like, it's these people that I think are the ones that really should have the strongest voice in all this, because they're the ones that actually went over to do the flipping fighting. So, like, if not only, because I've seen a lot of vets, by the way, coming out and saying that it was disgusting how like we all just pulled the rug from under as Afghan allies, about how just it's basically pretty shitty. They want to be back over there, about how they've lost people in vain, and they're kind of wondering why they ever went over in the first place, and all this psychological pain and trauma that they might be going through as a result of being in this fucking very needless war for however many years, because war's obviously not a pretty thing, right? So shit, man. I mean, what do we do? Do we need another war to come to the same conclusion that it's impossible? Well, I wouldn't particularly say that it was impossible. Whenever somebody says impossible, I have to just question whether or not it is actually possible or not. You know, like, again, I have to question whether it is impossible or not. And if it is impossible, then why did we ever go there in the first place if that was going to be the outcome, like, anyway, kind of thing? And like Georgia says, maybe it is impossible, but just to turn your back on a country that, not only just to turn your back on a country, but a country that we've been occupying for the best part of like quarter of a century. That's like not a joke. We have literally been there. Like, people that are 20-year-old in Afghanistan have grown up westernized because of the massive Western influence that's been over there. Like, literally, like, people have just packed up and gone. All these bases and shit that were popped up, they're gone. They're now in Taliban, or they're either gone or in Taliban control. So I don't think impossible's actually an option here, really, because we've kind of already put the first foot forward. Like, I don't know. It's kind of like it's kind of strange in a sense. I don't know. It shouldn't be up to us, others, to decide that they aren't worth fighting for. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that as well. Because, you know, to a certain extent, we've already agreed that they are worth fighting for. Not only the Afghan people. Like, let's not misconstrued the humanitarian effort for the real sort of, you know, war implications that loom for the rest of the world there. Like, the Taliban recognised as a government and as an operational army that are allowed to have WMDs, have, you know, forces and have recruitment services, and not only that, but then use that military to enforce laws and regulations on the people that live there. This is all really bad for the rest of the world. Like, literally, even if we wasn't there for the last 20 years, which we were, I think at this point it's got to the level of, like, these are very unhinged, very dangerous people. This is not something that anybody's making up. That's absolutely what the Taliban want us to think. Maybe they're trying to go about it a wee bit differently this way, and they've got these spokespeople coming out saying, oh, we're different, but, you know, they've just done another suicide bombing attack on a fucking airport full of innocent families. So, no, I don't believe that now. Absolutely not. Even if for a second I did believe that they were going to try and engage in a democratic society and let people have a say in what happens. Even if I did think that for a second, I don't believe that anymore. So yeah, it's a matter of global importance to squash people like these. It's actually impossible with the way the country's geography is. It's impossible to win the war. Furthermore, most of the countries got dragged into this war by the USA. Yeah, I would definitely agree that it's incredibly difficult to, it would be incredibly difficult to, like, fully sort of win the war over there because of the geographical location. The landscape is incredibly harsh. Simply Western sort of people just are not very well versed for that kind of terrain. It's true, there's mountains and shit that these people know off the back of the hand, like the back of the hand, pardon me. But again, that doesn't make it impossible, that makes it difficult, sure. But I think we, at this point, have learnt a lot in terms of, like, you know, like urban warfare and stuff. We kind of fucked up already in the sense of being somewhere that we wasn't geographically capable of actually managing. So I think that the capabilities are very, very much there, and I think they was there in the first place because they knew that, and for the most part, the war looked like it was been won. We was told that it was been won. Although it'd definitely be very hard, I think that if we was to approach it in an international sort of crisis manner, then it'd probably be a lot easier, because then maybe, like Pakistan, for example. Pakistan are a big fucking deal at the moment because they are really helping out. They're not doing it implicitly. They're kind of just like not disallowing them from coming in and out and what have you. So yeah, no, like coming in and out. So like maybe we'd need to have the help of other countries. Like I say, I don't think anybody could do it alone. Like I don't think you could probably conquer anywhere alone at this point because, like Spam says, there nobody has won the war there. Nobody has won the war there in a long time. Absolutely, I agree. But at this point, we have got massive advances in technology, in military capability. So I would argue against that. I would say we absolutely have the technology to do that. We have drones, we have air forces, we have like, you know, all this fucking robotics and shit. There's plenty of ATVs and stuff that they can create nowadays. Like the some of the off-roading kind of vehicles that they've got out there are incredible. They can go up vertical mountain cliffs effectively. So I don't know. Like again, I'm not one to argue for war. I personally just hate to see these innocent people being took over by somebody like the Taliban. Now, it could be argued that, you know, maybe maybe getting took over by the West isn't even any better. Like maybe but I think it's clear from like the Afghan people that they are a lot more upset with the Taliban being there than they are with the US and stuff being there. So yeah, us being there, especially with drones, will just breed more Taliban. Yeah, I mean, effectively, I guess. No one has won the war unless we massive bomb and kill innocents, which of course I do not advocate. It is literally impossible. I actually took quite interest in the Afghan war, and unless we are willing to lose thousands of soldiers, it's impossible. Again, I would disagree. Again, in any war, I think you are gonna lose lots of people. That's kind of a war. That's pretty much what any soldier signs up for. So I really don't think that like losing people is a viable argument as to why we shouldn't go to war. It's definitely an argument, but that's kind of war, right? Like that's what the people sign up for. They want to go to war. A lot of these people that go train in the army. So yeah, it's very brutal. I wouldn't particularly like to go over there and do that. Sure. I think there'd have to be a massive evacuation effort. Like there really would, and especially at this point now, I think that'd be absolutely fine. I don't think there's anybody there at the moment other than people that, you know, don't mind the Taliban. I don't think there's anybody there that wants to stay there. Like, they really don't. Everybody's terrified of being there, so evacuate people, man. Just go fully in on the place. And yeah, I fully believe that, you know, like the UK, the states together could absolutely take that place out, and not take the place out, but take the Taliban out and just absolutely outgun them at this point, or maybe, you know, a little bit back, but maybe not anymore. Like, it's getting to the point where sure, it is going to become impossible at some point, but yeah, like, it's a good point. Like, I am not being the person that's saying, right, we should definitely do this. I'm just saying that there's an argument to be had there. There's a plain devil's advocate, right? Because, it's not like they wear uniforms. The troops on the ground never knew where they were or who they were. They used regular citizens to hide behind. They are brutal. I agree that's the biggest problem. They're unpredictable, unlimited by rules, and careless anyone of their own. But every other country has numbers. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So, like I said, there'd have to be a clear precedent set. Like, listen, you need to get out of Afghanistan now. Like, we'll help you. You know, we'll fly planes out. We'll, you know, a massive effort to protect these planes. They'll be flipping followed by jets and shit. Like, they could be doing this. Like, this is stuff they could be doing. They have the equipment to do that. They have the manpower to do that. They have people on standby that are ready to do that. Like, there's multiple countries involved right now. You're telling me that, like, 3 countries combined, 3 of the biggest superpowers in the world, couldn't take out the Taliban right now in Afghanistan? Like, they definitely could. They just don't want to or whatever. Like, there's, I don't know. But yeah, they do. They're very brutal. You know, they're obviously That's one of the biggest problems that we would have. A lot of innocent people get caught up in this shit, but I guess at this point the question is, okay, fair enough, maybe some innocent people are going to get killed in that, but are innocent people going to get killed anyway? Yeah, probably. That's the whole point of this. Like, you know, lots of innocent people are going to end up getting killed if we just leave it be. So I don't know. Like, in my opinion, there needs to be somewhat of an effort there to I guess do something. But I'm looking at it probably very idealistically, and I do understand that. Like, that is a very ideal world scenario, and we don't live in an ideal world. So yeah, but our technological advantage still doesn't do nearly enough against the way the Taliban fights. What are we going to do when they just live next to innocents and use them as human shields? Get the innocent people out. It's quite simple. Like, if they're not allowed to go, then it needs to be like a hostage situation kind of thing. Like, I don't know. But at the end of the day, like, are we just supposed to leave these people with those people that are happy to use them as human shields? Like, leave them to get, like, raped, abused, and murdered? Like, I don't know. That's the alternative? Like, if you're saying, okay, we don't do nothing, then that's what you're agreeing to. That's what you're implicitly agreeing to, or implicitly agreeing to. Like, and I don't think that's right. I couldn't, in all good faith, say that should be a thing that the world should allow. And yeah, sure, it's not going to be nice, and that's the point we've got to now. We obviously haven't fucking got rid of them, quickly enough. They've overpowered us, whatever the case may be. They've now got technology where it's got to the point where it's very serious, yeah. And we're on the, if it isn't impossible already, then we are very close to it being impossible. Like, that's very, very true. A lot of people join the army, come from poor backgrounds and join because they hope it will set them up for a future, especially America, where they target low-income areas, not because they want to go to war. Also, the propaganda machine is strongly implying that a war is against evil, and it's not that simple. Very true, very true. I guess, again, my worldview there is very different. I mean, I literally grew up with fucking tons of people coming from a low-income background, a low-income area, tons of people that went to the army, and most of them was very happy to go and shoot people. They wanted to go and shoot, insert racist word. I on my fucking life, may the Lord strike me dead right now if I'm lying, I have heard that reason 1,000 times more than because they want to escape this shitty background. Trust me, when you come from somewhere like the UK, the background is nowhere near as bad as going to an active war situation. So again, I agree with your point, but I politely disagree. No, I just don't think that's the case. I think that's an exception to the rule, and sure, some people only have that alternative, and they only see that as the way out, but when we're talking about the UK, for example, I think that is largely not the case. Like, you don't need to escape anything. The benefit system keeps you alive. The people in the UK army, where I'm from, I can say want to be there. They're there because they intend to go to war. They go through training every single day, getting drilled into them that they could die at any moment. They're going to war. They're off to shoot and kill people. If they're not ready by the start of it, they sure as fuck are by the end of it. And I will put money on that shit. Absolutely put money on that. But yeah, sure, there's not going to be, tons and tons. Not everybody's going to be like that. The incentive to join has to be honest, and people have to join with genuine interest to do the job, not personal payoff. Military recruitment isn't often designed to control against this. Fair enough, yeah. I mean, I think they'll take anybody that they can get, but that's because the training programs are so intense. Like, they know that if they can get somebody through to the end of training, and obviously they know them personally, that person is ready for an active war situation. That's the point of training. Like, they don't push anybody through that isn't ready for it. I wouldn't have thought, like, it just, those people get cut off. They're the fat that gets trimmed in training. They make it difficult, so those people don't get through. they do here. Like, again, I don't know about the USA. Sure, might be different. I don't know about, like, Canada and stuff. Might be different. But at least the UK, where I come from, I can confidently say that, yeah, like, I've literally, at least 20 people I've known that I've been in high school with that have gone straight to do military. And I'll tell you the biggest reason people go to the military, it's got nothing to do with wanting to go to war, nothing to do with wanting to escape a background, is because their parents or their brothers or their sisters have been in the army. That's one of the main things, and it's like, okay, well, your brother being in what? Oh, well, I want to shoot people. It's usually what it comes down to. But yeah, most people that have, like, you know, bad intentions or, like, not the right intentions and don't really want to be going to war, I would like to think get trimmed out. Like, they get cut out, I think. And that's the point of the training, because sure, they are going to get some people there that, you know, want to be there. And that's just really sad, isn't it? It's almost like people don't naturally want to go to war. Yeah, I wouldn't, well, I don't know, there's actually a study, funnily enough, there's actually a study that they've done with chimpanzees, and even chimpanzees wage war on each other when they are put into factions. War is as old as humankind itself. Like, we have been warring with each other literally since the start of mankind. So war is older than capitalism, Danielle, I'm sorry to say. So that doesn't really hold up there. War is older than capitalism. War's been around way longer than capitalism has. Although capitalism definitely doesn't help, and the society that we are in now, I would say, isn't a very natural living society. And with that being said, you know, this unnatural living society does breed people that do want to go to war. I think just as easy as sort of people that are, like, you know, getting extremist views from, like, the Taliban and stuff. Like, for example, yeah, when 9/11 happened, yeah, like, shit like that. Shit like that happens all the time. We have, like, terror attacks all the time. People doing shootings and Allahu Akbar all the time. Yeah, people fucking really do go for that. I promise you they do. But, of course, I'm not saying that everybody is like that. But, they want to go to war because propaganda is teaching them that they're fighting for a cause. Yeah, like, that's true. Soon after they realise the truth, and by the time they get back to left wing, that's very true as well for a lot of people. Of course, we are, I would say, I'm not bred to be in that situation. I've never even held a gun, and I don't think I would even like to shoot somebody. Like, I wouldn't, but I've met people that have. Like, honestly, one of my good mates was an absolute nut job in that sense. He literally signed up for frontline. He went to Afghanistan. He came back and he was fine. He's now living with a family, and he's got a family, and he's cool. I've met people like that. I could literally name a few people like that, and I'm shit you not. I know somebody that's been in paratroopers, and they were in Afghanistan 2007 to 2012, and they come back and they were fine. They're now fucking chilling. I do know people like that, but that's my worldview, right? That's just me. Everybody obviously has their own, you know, different views, and that's why I see it in the way that I do. Because I have seen plenty of people that really do kind of love war, and war is an old flipping thing. Like, it goes back a long time, like it does. Okay, sorry, let me get some comments. Thank you for the comments and questions, everybody. This contributes to, but going over with the intention to be a hero, realise that once they get home, the title means nothing. Yeah, I mean, to some people it does, but then there's other people that stay within the military circles, and they're a sergeant for the rest of their lives, effectively. You never met one of those old people that's like just military, you know? They haven't been in the military for 30 years, 40 years, but he still proudly wears his medals and badges every Saturday, you know? I've met people like that. It's usually people's granddads, sure, but I've met people like that. So, again, I have to just throw that out there. You know, there's people that do go to war, they come back and they're absolutely fine with it, you know? There is, like, I guess, because some people, I guess, do actually come back a hero, right? You know, they come back, they get praised by people, they have the military card, you know, they've effectively come back from it and shit, and people, you have an inherent respect for somebody who's been in the military, right? So, you know, of course, the people that I guess for people like myself, like certainly I've more seen the bad stories and the people that have come out against it, because I am fundamentally against wars. Like I'm not for wars, and I know this might seem like I am. Again, I am just playing devil's advocate and just throwing them out there, and just saying like there's alternatives, there is other sides to it, but for the most part, like it's not flipping. It's not a good thing. Of course it isn't. It isn't. And I'm not arguing for that. That's not what I'm arguing for. If chimpanzees had the capability to buy bombs and automatic weaponry and saw the impact of their actions, I think chimpanzees would also head it. But we need each other. I mean, fundamentally, we need each other to survive. Again, I'd have to disagree. The drive for war is what has drove us to create things like the atomic bomb and stuff. Like, if chimpanzees were capable of, like, you know, the think power to have an atomic weapon to increase their chances in war, then they'd do it. They would do it. Like, I'm sorry, that is something I would agree that I would believe that they would do. Just like humans have done over the years. But yeah, like, I totally get what you're saying though, and about the study, and I'm willing to admit that it's not an easy argument. It isn't, Danielle. No, you're right. It isn't. And again, like, I just have to reiterate, I do honestly, wholeheartedly agree with what most of you are saying right now. I agree with what everybody is saying, but what I'm more playing is like the counter person and how somebody could object to that line of thinking, you know? Because objectively, the way that I'm trying to approach it, objectively, that is what I feel somebody would say to me if I was saying what you're saying right now, which is something I would say, right? So, like, I'm just thinking about, yeah, I would say that, you know, like, I would legit say that, you know, like, no. Chimpanzees, you know, if they could see what they were doing to each other, then no, they wouldn't do that. But you don't know that, like, we don't. It depends. It literally depends on so fucking much. And I have to posit, if this chimpanzee has the capabilities to use a gun, what's going to stop it? What stopped us? Nothing. So why would you believe that? Like, you know, if they're capable of war, which has been proved that they are, like scientifically proved that they are, and I can show you the video of the study, it's actually really interesting. They have a complex war as well. It ain't just that they're, you know, like pissed off with like one sort of thing because they've got like brown tops on and they've got white tops on. Literally, like, it's in a set in a big forest and there's like 5 different ones all warring against each other. 2 of them collaborate against one to overcome them. Like, they are thinking complexly already about war, because the nature of war is you want to win. When you are engaging in warfare, you don't do it to lose. So anything you'll do, like we say, you know, like, anything in war is fair game, which is disgusting. You know, which is what leads to these fucking abhorrent things happening. And I agree, but I'm just saying what other people would say against it. And I am of the opinion that war is as old as humans themselves. Murder is as well. Like, just as much as humans have been nice, they've been bad as well. And I hate that about us. But it's the truth. And I'm not going to hide from the truth. So that's all I'm saying. So we're just discussing though. Yeah, we're just discussing. Like, I swear, I literally come from the most honest and sincerest place imaginable. And again, I really appreciate everybody who is able to debate, because I love debates. This is what I live for. Healthy debates are what I live for. So thank you, everybody. But like I say, I agree with a lot of what everybody is saying. I have to disagree. Moving to Canada. Moving to Canada and visiting the US, seeing all of the "we support the troops" stuff and free donut for military vets. Some societies almost glamorise it, I think. Thank you. I know, yes, they do, and it seems insane to some people. Like, you know, that people that do think, wow, well, you're just like a glorified murderer, right? Like, what the fuck? But yeah, absolutely. And I'd say that's heavier in places like America than it is here. But yeah, I've known a malinformed friends to join and go AFG and say they were clueless. Go to Afghanistan, say they were clueless, but did it to say they did it. These people exist. Yeah. Thank you, Georgia. Thank you, because everybody is totally disagreeing with me here, and I get it. I am saying very nasty things, but I wholeheartedly agree that these are ugly human truths. And as somebody who is here now trying to, engage in a healthy and, just like pushing the conversation forward, like, I have to say these things, right? Like, I have to say these things. I don't particularly agree with the things that I might have said here, but these are truths. Like, it doesn't matter if I agree with them or not. These, I think, are facts, right? And like, the kind of are just there. We are a warring species, and again, I hear that about us, but the history proves it. We're even doing studies on chimpanzees that even show like what we apparently evolved from, even are willing to wage war on each other over dumb shit. So it exists, it happens, and I'm sorry, but I think it is just one of those ugly truths. I don't think that facts don't care about your feelings. I think that's bullshit. Facts do care about your feelings because facts are infallible. But I do think that we have been waging war for as long as humanity has been around. Like, we've been doing it since swords and shit. So we've been at least doing it for as long as we've been a complex society. So maybe you could say it's that it's a symptom of modern society, but I don't think modern society equals capitalism, because modern society hasn't always been capitalism. Like, I mean, it's kind of taken a while to get to that point. So, yeah, we lived in colonialism for a long time, and that was, very different to capitalism and democracy and the like. So, I had very different, stark differences. Sorry, where did we get to? My phone died, so I can't read it on my bloody thing now. No, nobody's the odd one out. No, Danielle, nobody's the odd one out. No. No. We're all good here. We're all just engaging in conversation, in debate, and I agree. I appreciate that. There are far too many homeless vets and mockery of mental illnesses in America for me not to believe in the honour of hero's message. I want them to prove it. Now, again, like, I must agree with that. There is also a lot of the other side too. It isn't all one-sided, which makes this a very nuanced, very complicated, and why I would argue it makes nobody kind of right. Like, it makes nobody right and nobody wrong kind of thing. Because the reality of it is we don't have the answer. Like, nobody knows the answer to these questions. These are questions that experts are going to struggle to answer. So we'll only be able to go off of our personal experiences. Everything that we've said is probably going to be a little biased in our experiences, and that's fine. I expect it to be. And I appreciate everybody here that is sharing their thoughts and their opinions on things. Like, it's good to have these conversations because it's a complex one, and I think we can all agree that I wish that war wasn't a thing. Like, I wish we didn't war with each other, Like, but then, that leads to questions, well, do we? Oh, have we always? What's the cause? And I have looked at these things before, and it seems that nobody has the answer to why we war. We just do. Like, there is no answer. We've been doing it for as long as history has recorded. In fact, that's what history has recorded a lot of the time. The wars that we've had and the great people from wars, that's what gets remembered. Like, that's just kind of how humans have been forever. That's nothing we are ever going to change now, because this is something that has been built into us for fucking hundreds or thousands of years. I'm not blaming capitalism, but military right now is based on capitalism. I would agree with that, absolutely. And, capitalism breeds a society where money is hella important, which inherently would create people that are going to do things for money. We see that everywhere. We see people doing dumb shit on camera all the time at the chance of getting money. Not the guarantee of it, the chance of it. So it is not too far out to say that there's going to be people that come from a shit place, that are in a shit time in their life, and they want to go to the military to get away from that. Absolutely. But I don't think anybody goes to the military and expects not to go to war, right? Like, do they? Would you say that somebody has gone to the military and expected not to go to a war? Because if you have, then fair enough. I concede. I personally have never met anybody that has joined the military, unless they've gone for like something that isn't, you know, like shooting based. There's loads of non-military jobs in the military, right? So excluding the obvious non-military jobs, let me just make that distinction first. Because, of course, you can go to the military, you can do music if you want in the military. But, yeah, you know, if you're going to go to the military and do something gun-related, frontline, you know, Royal Artillery, flipping, you know, whatever, you're going to expect to go to war, and that is going to be one of the things that you're going to find cool, you know. You probably are going to spoke to people, they're going to be like, yeah, you know, I went to Germany, we went out on tour, we went and did this, my clan were like my fucking brothers and shit, and you know, we all like shot people up and that, and you hear that so much. People exist like that, and they do glorify the killing, they glorify the real brute, you know, man, rough, we're fucking raw, you know, we're ready for this, you know, that kind of nonsense. You know what people are like, right? So these people exist, right? And I'm not that person, let me say, but these people do exist as well. But yeah, so I think that even somebody could still be going for the money, but want to go to war as well. I don't think I don't think the one excludes the other automatically. So yeah, you know, I think the two can coexist actually when I think about it. Where did we get to? Where did we get to? Where did we get to? Sorry, man. Oh my god. Right, okay. Fully agree that the follow-up is pathetic, but I think there is this rah beforehand which urges people to join. Then yes, they get back, and it's clearly a different story. Yeah. Yeah, I get you, and I see you. You're just discussing. Yes. Love the discussion. I'm not offended, lol. I just feel like I'm on the other side of the spectrum. I don't see you as being on the other side at all. I think we're all closer than we think, but we have different focuses on the topic. I know you're saying, yeah, right. Like, I know that there's something that we can all agree on. That I wish wars wasn't a thing. Wish we didn't go to war. Wish there was no need for war. Like, you know, I'm arguing all these points with that at my heart. Like, it's fucking awful that there's wars, but if I have to accept that there's gonna be wars, then I also have to accept that there's going to be people that engage in that stuff, because that's the reason we have to accept wars, because there's people that are always going to do it. So, like, you know, and if it's such an overwhelming majority that these wars are so massive, then these people must want to do it to a certain extent, I guess. But it's a nuanced take, it's a nuanced conversation, and that's just like one stance of very many that you can take, because, you know, the second that you then, like, I've been arguing on the side of, you know, proper military people, you know, that are really into it. But the second that you get somebody that that hasn't had a good experience of the military, it's a very, very different story. And it isn't some fucking glorified patriotic act. It's a horrifying, traumatizing, life-altering in all the negative ways experience for people. And it ruins people, like, it does. So, you know, like, I am always going to say that there shouldn't be a war, but in this particular case, as in, like, Afghanistan right now, like, to say I don't want there to be military intervention means that I'm okay with the Taliban doing what they do to their people over there, and I'm not. So that's the stance I have to take. That's the hill I'll choose to die on, right? And here I am dying on it. But I don't know. I think at the bottom, the bottom of that, the heart of that is a pure and just cause. I do not want these innocent people that do want to get out of there to suffer. Like, we all have this really great standard of life in comparison to somebody who's fucking been in a war zone for 20 years, and now at the end of it all, they are going to get the thing that's been the result of the war for 20 years. It just feels shitty for those people. And I am not by any means saying that it hasn't been shitty for anybody else. I just feel like the ones who have had it worse are the Afghan people, and they're the ones that are continuing to get it the worst. Like, sure, military have, like, passed, yeah, they have, and it's fucking awful, but they've gone to the military. Like, I've struggled to feel more sorry for somebody who's died in the military than some kid that has died as a result of that war. And that's the way that I will always think of these kind of things. And at the root of that is always, I don't want this shit to happen. I wish that people could just get along. why is it all? Why is this? Why are the Taliban doing this? They're literally causing like me to go insane right now. I've never focused on wanting to be going to war, and I've never ever advocated for military intervention in my life. Like, this is not me. This is never the place I expected to be. But like, again, like, I just feel like the people that have had it the worst and continue to get it the worst are the poor people of Afghanistan that are still literally recently been bombed by the Taliban. Fucking suicide bombers. Like, you know, I mean, at what point do we say, like, that's fucked up and this is wrong, and where's the line, right? That's my point. So yeah, that's where I'm coming from, just to let everybody know. Where are we? Where are we? They can keep the donuts. Yeah, right, there we are. To be clear, I support veterans and I appreciate them. Society doesn't take care of them. Yeah, you can't blame everything on capitalism. Absolutely not. And yeah, this is the thing as well, like, you know, I again see that there's been a lot of traumatizing shit that's happened to a lot of the military personnel that have given their life and time to go over there and fight. And I think that that's wrong for those people as well. I do. And I think we are in a world where it can be wrong for the Afghan people and also wrong for the military as well. I think the Afghan people can be getting treated unfairly simultaneously with the military people that have, you know, been sort of, I guess, left as well. I think the both of these things have happened, can happen, and should be spoke about. I don't think that, you know, like, they're exclusionary, which often sometimes can be the case, right? So, yeah. I wish I'd stop going back down to bottom, so I don't have to keep doing this and flicking back up. The chimp debate. Oh no, the chimp debate. On the other hand, oh my word, I'm way far behind on chat. Sorry, everybody. My gosh, why am I so far behind? Chimps will go to war and cannibalise each other just because they can, even when food is plentiful. Yeah, we've always been awful. Yeah, so I don't know if there's been multiple into that, but yeah, very true. Amen to that. Unfortunately, I know a few people who have gone and didn't want to expect to go to war. They just wanted the benefits. Okay, absolutely fair. Would you agree, though, that that's on them? Like, you know, if you're going to go do a driving job and expect not to drive, that's on you, right? Like, if you've gone to do a military job, or maybe if you've been dragged into, like, what is it called, national service or some shit, very different. But unless that's the case, I mean, yeah, but anyway, fair enough. Again, I'm sure there's always exceptions to the rule. But yeah, I would definitely posit that somebody who goes into the army in a war or an offensive based role, it's definitely on them if they didn't think they were going to go to war, because, like, look at society, we're always at war, there's always somewhere to go. I would argue that's on them, like, but at the same time, I'm not saying that makes what they've had to go through any better. But I think there's got to be some level of personal responsibility attributed to anything. Like, you know, we are personally responsible for the choices that we make, right? They haven't been forced to pick that role. They haven't been forced to pick to go into the army. They may be coerced. Environmental factors may strongly weigh on a particular choice, and that's fair. But I don't think anybody forces to do anything. I've been in the position where the army would have been a massive get out for me. I had no prospects, come from a shit place where all my mates were going to the army for that reason, to get out, go to war, go get, you know, pump, go get fit and shit, and, go learn how to use a gun and learn how to like defend themselves and stuff. This is what a lot of the stuff that I were hearing after around leaving school. I even went to a residential trip for the army, and they even said you'd be good in the army. You know, like you did good on the little test things. So there's you know, it's one of those. I'm not trying to blame anyone, right? Like, but there's always an aspect of personal responsibility to things. I don't think that we should just, you know, be like, you know, letting people just make choices, then regret them choices because it was tough. But, you know, I think you get told about that stuff, right? Like, I don't know how it is in America, but I've sort of been through at least somewhat the UK one, and they're very open about that. You have to sign a ledger that says, you know, you're not going to do out if you die at war. Like, everybody has to sign one of those kind of things, I guess. So, the cheap debate, on the other hand, Kez, and I will have to disagree, because I think humans are empathetic and realise that over time war ends in turmoil on both sides. Fair enough, Danielle. The question I would ask back to that is, why haven't we come to that conclusion already? And I think that's quite a simple question there. If that would be the case, and if humans are empathetic and realise that over time war ends in turmoil on both sides, over the thousands of documented years of war, why haven't we thought that yet? Why are we still at war? What is still up? So I agree. Like, I would like to think that society could be smart enough to say that, wait, this is a really stupid idea. We don't need to go in and kill each other, and more so kill innocent people. But I have to look at the evidence, and the evidence suggests that that isn't the case. We are still going to war. We have literally been at war for fucking ever. The world has always been at war in some way, shape or form. So what's stopped us? Governments have lied to us, sure. I mean, that's true. Governments have definitely lied to us, but at the same time, like, there's also been times where the government hasn't lied to us. Hitler absolutely was trying to, you know, massacre all Jews. We absolutely had to go to war then. That wasn't a government lied to us and made it up thing. Like, sometimes it has been, absolutely, but there's still times that you can point to where it hasn't been that, you know. Like, I would have pointed to this 20-year war as being a fucking stupid one, but after seeing how it's kind of turned out now, maybe, like, I don't know, maybe more should have been done. Maybe it was stupid. I mean, I don't know, but no. Then there's all the civil wars. Like, is a civil war still considered a war where we actually war against the government? What would you argue for that? Because I would argue that's still war. But I guess that's kind of fighting against the very thing that you're saying contributes towards wars. So, I mean, maybe you could argue definitely it's causing problems there, but it's, you know, it's like a directed effort to kind of stop the lies, I suppose, would be the whole point of that war. It's because people are pissed off that they're being lied to, so, oh, shit. Our moderator flipped out at Hitler and killed Jewish people. Shit. What did I turn this conversation into? I don't blame it on them. Of course, we are personally responsible. Yeah, no. I'm not accusing anybody of saying that. I'm just saying that, like, in general, we should apply some personal responsibility when we are forming our opinions. Like here, the way that I see this conversation is we are all putting our thoughts out there, and then at the end of it, you know, we could all come to maybe a different conclusion at the end because of the new information that we've heard, the new perspectives that we've heard, kind of thing. So, like, I'm not saying, like, anybody is wrong or doing anything bad in this. Like, I'm not saying nobody is being offensive here. Like, I wouldn't have said unless I'd been offensive, which I'm really sorry, I don't mean to be. But nobody's been offensive. Like I said, we're just talking. Like, honestly, do not feel any sort of way. Like, I'm not like having a go at anyone. I'm just simply debating. Like, I'm just pushing people on their thoughts. You know, like, you have these views and these stances, and I appreciate that. That's very fair, and I'm interested, and I would like to push you on that. I would like to challenge you on those stances, and just hear what reasoning you've got. and maybe I might change my reasoning and logic because your reasoning and logic is sound. That's literally the whole point of me doing this. That's why I might be asking somewhat pushy questions and challenging questions, because if I have a viewpoint, I expect to have thought about that viewpoint and to, like, have some thought to it. So just catch up in the comments. No, I am literally just clarifying, because of course, let's be real, like, a lot of people, this can be offensive. Like, it can come across as, maybe someone's like having a certain stance, and like, people get offended. I'm again not saying anybody is, just saying I am not trying to be offensive. It's just like, I am interested to hear people's thoughts and why people have these views, which are 100% valid, by the way. And I agree with literally the majority, if not like every comment that has come through here. Sorry, I just seen a comment there. She went into the Marines, she's trained to fight. Yep. Clapping for the NHS and supporting them. It's telling them that you're helping them. I get, that's true. There's a difference. They send you where you are needed. Yeah. Sorry, I'm really behind on comments, man. God damn it. This guy decide against the military deployment is all. Deployment was always possible, and it could always be unexpected. Yeah. Exactly why I decided against the military too, because I did not want to go to war. That I would have been the kind of person that would have gone to war, done some shit, come back, and it had destroyed my life. So I did it. I got to the point where I literally passed my medical, and I could have gone to my second phase, but I didn't want to do it. Because, like, it would have been a fucking high chance that I'd have gone to war, and it wasn't for me, man. Like, it was not for me. and on that point, that's why I'll always appreciate people that do go, like, because I feel like that is drilled into you, that war is what the army does, kind of thing. So, like, you're lucky if you go do a humanitarian kind of mission. That's probably a great day in the office for people in army. But yeah, war and the army is like, it's like synonymous in my opinion. So I don't think vets should be treated as doctors. So I'm way behind that. What the hell? That how she's trying not to go to war, still serve the country. And that's the thing, like, there is plenty of ways that you can join the army, serve your country, but not go to war, and literally be like, you can, in the US military, you can go over and be a bricklayer, you can go over and play the guitar, you can go over and be train fucking horses and shit. Like, there's so much that you can do. There's so much that you can do in the army that if you are in a military a position that is war orientated, or that's going to go to war, somewhere along the line you've made the choice for that. Like, there is plenty of times that you can choose not to, like, these people that go to war are trained properly with a gun. Everybody gets trained to shoot, but then the people that go on to actually do, like, proper gun shit, they go on to do gun exercise. But if you don't, you go over and you learn how to be a driver or whatever. If you're going to be a driver, you just go learn how to drive and do a driving course. You don't touch another gun again. You have a sidearm, and that's it. You learn about all the different things that you're transporting and stuff if you're going to be a driver in the army, which is what I was possibly going to go do to get my licenses and stuff. But that wasn't going to go to war, like, but you still could have gone to war. So that's why I didn't go, because there was still a chance that I could have got pulled out to war even as a driver. So yeah, there was very upfront about that with me, So yeah, oh dear, I am so far behind. Right, okay. Agree with part of a society that creates a misleading, undesirable incentive. If that was gone, then I think we'd be better to say now. If you pick yes, it's on you alone. Yes, absolutely true. And if that was the case, that is how I would see it. Like, but there is definitely a way that they like sweep people up and try get people in for the wrong reasons. But again, I do still believe that once you get in there, Like, they make it apparent to you that it could be possible because, of course, it is. It's the military. But yeah, still at war because of the government lies. Yeah, I mean, civil wars, but true. There has been an alarming amount of wars due to government lies, and I hate that. I hate that. I do. Like, it was the Cuban Missile Crisis, right? That was one that was totally fabricated. Vietnam was questionable, I think, which is terrible. Fucking terrible. Every planet is different, every person is different, every environment is different. It's my job as a plant mum to set up, there's my plant to thrive, same as society, set up its people to succeed. Yeah, absolutely. We only went to war with Hitler because he invaded our allies, not because he was killing Jewish people. Sadly, there are many people in our countries that would have liked to have killed the Jewish people too. Yeah, again, idealistic view. It is. If you was to look at history, that's the historical reason for it, I suppose. So just going off of the, the accepted reason. But yeah, I mean, and it wasn't just because he was. Let's get that straight. It wasn't just because he was, invading allies. He was invading everybody. So like, he was invading like everyone. Like, he was going for Russia, the States. He was going, Russia and like the UK. He was going for all kinds of places. Like. So at that point, like, it's another one where I just feel like it is of international importance to get these people out of the way, because it was only a matter of time before, he was gonna get everybody, like, and that's kind of like that's the kind of the way that I look at the Taliban ideology. They are on the way. They're all about this conquering kind of bullshit, and it scares me. It does. It scares me. What's next is my question. We loved using Jewish people as scapegoats in the UK for years. We weren't doing it to protect them. We did it to protect ourselves and our shores. I think the commonest opinion is we're doing wrong. So cool, yeah, guys. Maybe we should not comment for a while. Let this stone fella catch up. Right, I'm back up to speed. I'm really sorry if I've missed anybody's comments, but I've noticed that the conversation is advancing, and I am not. So yeah, like let me just